All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, we're going to be diving into the markets. All the noise in the market right now is regarding the Bitcoin ETF, and Bitcoin is taking a hit, down 5% over the 24 hours. And this is kind of like a situation we've planned for because we said once it approves, we saw kind of a nice little pump up to 47, and it kind of went through. The investment started coming in, but once the retail was able to invest through their brokers, etc., we've seen the price kind of take a little bit of a hit. But we see Ethereum creeping into the picture. Good old Ethereum has been sleeping during this bear / mini bull market, and now it's waking up. And where is the liquidity going to go after Ethereum? Why could this be bullish for altcoins, and particularly gaming altcoins? We'll go over that thesis here in this show. Without further ado, let's jump in the game. As always, guys, drop down, hit the like button, and subscribe for more every single day and week here on In the Game, one of the biggest crypto gaming channels on YouTube as well. Shout out to our top tier sponsors here on In the Game. And we have some phenomenal sponsors: Seedify, Vulcan Forged, Ultra, Dreams Quest. We have Redato, and we have Game Starter. So we have full-fledged ecosystems, launch pads, GambleFi projects. We have individual games. We have absolutely killer sponsors. Drop down in the description. Check those out. And if you need an exchange to trade these gaming coins on, we have some exchange links down below as well. So let's jump into this. I mean, interesting development here, as most of the time when you filter the 7 days, you're not going to see Ethereum or a Bitcoin in the 19% range up here with some altcoin gains for the week, which is pretty crazy to see. So Ethereum up 20% over the 7 days. Whereas if we look at Bitcoin, it did go up 2% in the anticipation of the ETF, but we're seeing that sell the news come through on Bitcoin. And quite frankly, if you filter for some tokens, some tokens are still in the green, but across the market at the moment, we're seeing a little bit of a dip, except for Ethereum, which this is a bull case, I think, for altcoins. So the same thing that just happened with the Bitcoin ETF is now starting to happen with ETH. And if you think about it, it all makes sense. People were writing off Ethereum. And, this little pump 20% in a week doesn't really mean, oh, ETH is back. But I do think ETH is back, and here's why. First of all, these things go in cycles, guys. AVAX, Solana, they both had huge runs. Injective had a huge run. This SEI had a huge run, right? All these different chains have had their narratives and had their turns during this small bull period before the ETF. And now that the Bitcoin ETF was approved and all the liquidity and attention was focused on Bitcoin, we're now seeing the money go to ETH. And it says Solana Maxi's on suicide watch. I don't think it's that serious, right? But ETH is going burr at this moment in time. And if we take a look at this chart, it's nice to see that this thing woke up. I mean, and obviously over a year's time, it did go from 1,500 to where it is today. But it did feel like we were just middling around these $2,000 levels for quite some time, 2,200 for quite some time. And now we're up 20% on the week for Ethereum. What does this mean for altcoins? In my opinion, if we start hearing rumors about the Ethereum ETF, which I think we will it be in the immediate future? Time will tell. We're probably going to have to see how the Bitcoin ETF shakes up, the success of it. The demand is there, I think. I mean, if you're looking at the numbers that have been invested, I don't think there's a negative to really take from what's happened so far with the Bitcoin ETF. The thing is how much do people trust Ethereum versus Bitcoin? So we'll have to see on that regard. But I do think eventually we're going to see an Ethereum ETF. Maybe we see a Solana ETF. I don't think these things are out of the picture. So now that the focus is on Ethereum, some altcoins I think are going to start getting money, but I'm going to tread a little cautiously, but it's a riskier approach. Now, I have my accumulations on stuff like IMX. Let's roll down the list. The avalanches. I have my accumulations on Beam. These bigger market Superverse, etc. Echelon Prime. I have my accumulations on these things. But speaking of, like, I think Prime, for example, this is going to be one that could get that Ethereum money because of the AI game coming up, the Colony game. I think that Prime could have a huge run underneath Ethereum, for example, as one token that I think could really benefit from the ETH narrative. I think that Prime's definitely near the top of the list as far as gaming goes. I think IMX could get some of that liquidity as well. But my bags are packed on the bigger stuff, right? During this time period, and just trying to really play smart, low caps are going to be volatile, but I still have lots of confidence in a bunch of these smaller, 20 to $50 million market cap coins. These are the ones I want to be accumulating right now. I don't want to start accumulating these top high market cap coins. We see a major pullback, and it's going to be hard due to dilution potentially to get back to those levels on some tokens. Not every token is going to have that problem, right? But in my opinion, when the Ethereum pump has started, I'm looking at individual tokens that people could pivot liquidity into. Okay. And some of those games and some of those tokens, I'm going to start with Shrapnel. So Shrapnel, if you look at the chains, it is tradable on Ethereum. This is important. So it needs to be traded on Ethereum for this to be able to come to fruition. That money is going to trickle down into stuff like this. And a lot of these things are going to have catalysts behind them. Okay. Like every token on this list, I'm pretty sure, has an upcoming catalyst or is providing consistent updates that makes me bullish on holding these tokens during these time periods. So what is the catalyst for Shrapnel? The game launch. We're waiting on this thing. I don't have a date. I know in the comments, people are asking me. I think they delayed it a little bit. Obviously, it was supposed to be in December, but I know that the game launch is coming up imminently, and I think it's going to have a huge run due to that. The only one I think on this list that's not on Ethereum is Honeyland. And Honeyland, they're going to be doing some pretty cool stuff that might involve some gamified rewards here pretty soon inside the game. So if you're not playing this right now, I think you should definitely hop in and jump into that. But to continue the narrative here, and if you look, another one, the only two Soul tokens that I'm looking at right now, as money is rotating away from Soul, is Crown by Third Time Games. This is a horse racing game. And in 3-4 months' time, the Kentucky Derby is going to be here. I think this token will run up hard around the Kentucky Derby because they are the official partners of the Kentucky Derby. So there is a catalyst there to potentially boost that token in that time period. But back to the ETH narrative. A few tokens that I'm looking at to, stack, and hopefully we see that liquidity fall into some of these top alts and then some of these lower cap altcoins is Dubs. Huge esports fan. I've played wager matches for a decade in the Call of Duty scene, and I can tell you that scene is alive and well. There's a lot of money that goes into that. There are revenue as a service protocol for different games who want to facilitate wagers, and they have up to 75 games about to integrate with their platform. And if you take a look at the monthly chart here, ever since making new all-time highs, it's taken a hit. But this thing is fully diluted. I think this has so much more upside to come. Another one I'm stacking up at the moment in time is Katana Inu. Kata at a 28 mil market cap, 66 fully diluted. This one's so under the radar for most people. And one thing you can go, the social sentiment on this token is very high. If you type in the ticker Kata on Twitter, you can check out all the people that are really bullish on Katana Inu. They're thrilled to show some of the incredible updates. And I mean, the graphics, I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. Some of the animations in this and the open world nature, like the attacks, it's giving me, if you remember, if you're a long time in the game watcher, we played the playtest for Life Beyond. We showed that playtest here on the stream. It has really crisp graphics. The animations on the attacks and the weapons and the characters and the surroundings, the world. This reminds me a lot of Life Beyond in a really good way. And they have a lot of updates to share. This is an 11-minute video, so obviously we're not going to get to everything inside this video, but you can see the different characters and the different, weapons that they're all like, look at that sword right there. Like the way that this team's building out in the bear market has been really impressive. And like I said, these attacks and animations do look top notch. So this is one I'm definitely taking a deep look into right now, and I think is a good accumulation at this level. And once again, it's taken all these coins have taken a pullback. That's the beauty of it. A lot of people are waiting for pullbacks in these markets, and it's presenting itself right in front of your eyes. It's just a matter of if you're going to take it or not. Another one, low market cap here, 21 million market cap, is Wombat. Wombat just accumulated, no pun intended with the crypto terms. They just acquired 𝗨𝗟𝗧𝗥𝗓. They just hit 1 million downloads on their Google Play app. So this is one I'm also looking at. They have a really good track record in Web 2. So I'm looking at Wombat to potentially continue that in Web 3. And then this one is just getting hit over the head for no reason, and it's 𝗨𝗟𝗘𝗧. 𝗨𝗟𝗘, if you look at this dip here, it kind of coincides, I guess, with a new listing. But in my opinion, these listings are bullish. Now more people have access to this token. And I know firsthand, I just got really good information, very credible information from 𝗨𝗟𝗧. They're going to be announcing a pretty big integration with one of my favorite Web3 games here pretty soon. A token that we wrote up in the bear market, actually, before this bull run. They're going to be integrating with them, and I'm really excited to kind of see what happens with 𝗨𝗟𝗧 as they start collaborating differently. They have a lot of collabs already, but this collaboration looks very solid, and I'm excited to see it come to life. Now we'll switch over to the GambleFi narrative. So this one's on Ethereum, and this is based games. This one's fully diluted, 20 million market cap. I accumulated this one around 18 cents very heavily, and I'm going to be continuing stacking this because if you look at the protocol numbers, absolutely impressive. Their 5th month live, they've distributed over 300,000 USDT and ETH to their stakers. And this month of V3, profit in total was 130,000. And they're literally distributing $103,000 to their holders and their stakers for that profit. So stakers on this protocol are making out like bandits. And I think it's one you should definitely take a look at. The fact that it's fully diluted, the activity and the profit is such a level that like this could eventually be that one on the last show that I said hits that 100 million market cap. I think that there's a no doubt about it in a full-blown bull run. So Based is probably one of my top tier casino plays in this market, as well as Winner. Now, Winner is on Arbitrum, so it's kind of like an ETH subsidiary, but I still think that with the updates that they're providing, this could run hard. We see here they're deploying Winner account wallets and verifiable random functions, which are the fastest running to the XAI Games chain. The deployment will provide blazingly fast random number generation and seamless user onboarding for games built on the XAI chain. This is interesting for me because it's a gaming platform. So Winner partnering up with XAI. XAI did just launch their token. It's at 160 mil valuation. But the problem for me is the fully diluted 1.4. And there's a lot of node owners that are going to be continuing to dump their allocations that they got through the nodes. So that's one of my concerns there. If we take a look at this is what it's been live. It got up to 71 cents. It's at 57 cents. I think this protocol and platform looks awesome, but the diluted's a bit scary at that 1.4 billion. So that is something I'm looking out for. So those are the tokens at the moment that I have my eyes on. I'm shying away from higher market cap stuff. I'm planting more seeds as the market has kind of taken a dip in my favorite lower caps, and I'm going to hope to ride those up as Ethereum continues its narrative and maybe some of that money drops down into alts. Because if Ethereum continues to have a run, that's very bullish for altcoins because that money will flow to alts. Whereas if Bitcoin's running, it goes to the top alts and then it'll trickle into gaming. Whereas the ETH could trickle right into the mid cap altcoins, which would hit our gaming tokens. So I'm looking at Shrapnel, Honeyland, Crown, Dubs, Kata, Wombat, 𝗨𝗟𝗧, Based, and Winner at this moment in time. All of these, I believe, are under 70 million market cap. So these definitely have a lot of maturing to go, but that's exactly why I'm accumulating these. I know in the long haul, no matter how the short-term market shapes up, that these in my bag are going to materialize tenfold, and these market caps are going to blossom in a full-blown bull market. And then some things you need to be on the lookout for. We have the Overworld presale. Despite not seeing gameplay yet, I still think that this token, with all the speculation running rampant, is going to do really well. So you can actually go over to Overworld Play. The pre-sale collabs start now. You can secure your spot in the priority round at 0.2 cap per ticket. So you can go get your spot for the MNCT collabs now on the pre-sale. And I think that this pre-sale is going to do really well. And this token is, I think the rumor is it's going to be on Binance almost immediately. So you can see the liquidity coming through pretty heavily. Mixmob, they just sold out their public sale of their final Mixbot packages, which are going to come with $250 worth of MXM tokens. I'm looking at Mixmob. I think it's a 6 million market cap when it launches. So this is going to be very undervalued for anyone who got in on those pre-sale boxes. So congrats to anyone who got those. And I'm very bullish on the MXM token launch. This team has been building very, very hard. And then we see, I called out Age of Dino starting last week. This one did really well. I sold out at 0.6 on an auction. It's currently at 0.935. It got up to 1.2, so it was about a clean 2x there. So Age of Dino did do really well here. And this also comes with an airdrop and was incubated by 𝗨𝗟𝗘𝗧, who also incubated Overworld. And there's a lot to come. So the next mint I'm looking at really closely is 𝗨𝗟𝗡𝗏. 𝗨𝗨𝗡𝗏, they're a Web 2 game studio coming to Web 3. They have 120 million downloads, 5 million monthly active users. They're backed by Shima, Big Brain VC, some really good backers, really good product. I'm in touch with the team here. They're doing some really cool things. So 𝗨𝗨𝗡𝗏 is one I have my eyes on. And right now, it seems like the token airdrop meta is really killing it. And I don't think they're teasing an airdrop yet, which actually makes me bullish. Like, because I feel like the airdrop meta is going to get oversaturated. So that's something to look out for. It's going to, after a while, the token airdrop meta is going to become a little bit of a gimmick as far as attaching it to your NFTs. So we'll have to see how these next ones play out. But 𝗨𝗨𝗡𝗏 is definitely one that I'm super excited about. And it's the next mint that I will 100% be getting in on. So I would shoot them a follow on Twitter. And then an upcoming TGE in Aether Games. So obviously Portal goes without saying. I'm excited to see what happens with Portal. Everyone got in on that pre-sale. They raised an ungodly amount of money. So we're going to have to see how that shapes up. I invested in Portal as well. So we'll see kind of what happens whenever that goes live. So I'm excited to see that. But Aether Games really has a lot of potential, in my opinion. They have huge IP partners. And this one's going to be going live in Q1, I still believe. So keep your eyes out on that. And I want to give a shout out to some of our sponsors here on In the Game. We have Vulcan Forged, and everyone here knows my conviction at Vulcan Forged. And we accumulated so hard around these areas, 3, 270, etc. And this one's held up really well. I have to say, like, very impressive. It's still around $7, over 2x from its bottom at this market cap. I'm still super bullish on Vulcan Forge in the future to continue its growth. We showed the racing game a couple shows ago. That looked phenomenal. And they have so many updates coming through the pipeline. They just updated their NFT marketplace with integration of Vulcan Forge NFTs, craft and trade your NFTs, minimal gas fees, super fast transactions. And then Jamie, once again, we're getting 10-minute videos from projects today. Katana Inu threw out an 11-minute video. And then we have Vulcan Forge, a 10-minute video giving the Vulcaneers every bit of alpha. 20 things incoming for Vulcan Forged. I mean, Jamie, I love his vision. I love his ambition. I love the way he's pushed this thing forward. Definitely go check out this video if you're bullish on Vulcan Forged. And obviously links down below for all of our partners and sponsors here on In the Game. We have Project Citadel from Ultra. A lot of people are always talking about UOS token hasn't really moved that much. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think that this is the catalyst that could move it. That one big hit game on the Ultra launcher that's going to bring in attention. That's Project Citadel. This is incubated in-house built in-house by the Ultra team. And in the Citadel, your actions dictate your fate. Each decision can mean the difference between success and demise. Forge your own story. So if you haven't, go download the Ultra launcher down below in the description. We have the IGO of Storm Warfare coming on January 22nd. This looks really good. It's a card game, World War II based and World War II lore. A lot of card games out there in the market right now, but this one has a unique angle with the kind of old school war mantra behind it, because we have a lot of mythology. We have like futuristic with Parallel, Gods Unchained, Splinterlands. We don't really have this like World War II ethos behind a card game in Web3. So I do think that this one's going to do really well. And shout out to Seedify continuing to push the narrative on these top launches. And then Dreams Quest, shout out to them. They've been building really hard during the bear market. And their game Origins, The Fall of Azoria, is nominated for one of the Blockchain Game Awards on play-to-earn.net for most anticipated blockchain game. So you can go over to their Twitter if you're a Dreams Quest fan, and you can vote for them on this link. So shout out to all of our sponsors. Like I said, we have some top tier sponsors here with the ones that we have. And we just, Game Starter just came on last show. I noticed their token was absolutely ripping, and they have a really well-versed ecosystem. So really solid partners and sponsors here on In the Game, and we have to give them some love there to close the show. But all in all, I'm bullish on certain altcoins in this market. I think that definitely we're going to see some pullbacks across the board. But when I'm planting seeds in small caps, I'm not looking for my small caps to 10x tomorrow. I'm looking for those to 10x in the next bull. So I have a long-term time horizon. If one of these catalysts like Shrapnel's game launch, the upcoming event in Honeyland, the Kentucky Derby for Crown, the Dubs partner integrations, the 𝗘𝗘𝗧, like more updates on 𝗘𝗘𝗧. If Altura keeps listing and then they actually get some volume there, we have Based continuing their revenue, Winter Protocol keeping up the pace and keeping up the partnerships and integrations. Like, it could happen sooner than later, right? So I'm keeping my eyes on all these different coins, as well as right now, guys, the gaming NFT market. It's. I was on a space last night and we called it mint everything season. It's almost mint everything season in gaming. Like gaming NFTs, especially when they have tokens attached to them, it's an automatic print. Like it literally will print Ethereum. You can do what you want with it. You can take profits. You can hold for the airdrop. But that's what's happening right now in the markets, guys. So like the video, subscribe for more. I'll be back on Monday. As always, play well, my friends.